fuck you. Just kidding.
Okay then. So for the Toronto Raptors, their over/under for this season is 41.5 games. Their coach will still be Nick Nurse, but they did lose Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol in the free agency. But they picked up Aaron Baines and Alex Len. That might help with that. Dario, what are you doing?
Is that your impression of Nick Nurse? Just like going through incredible stress, coaching all these two guys?
Exactly.
Oh my god.
And paying Van Fleet like millions, like billions of dollars.
Yeah, Van Fleet got paid.
Yo,
let's talk about that.
Shout out to Van Fleet though. Like whatever his name is. Shout out to him because he's ass as shit and he got money.
The great Jalen Rose once said, "You are what you are able to negotiate." And he was able to negotiate some fire. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for fucking him.
He got a chip, and he earned that chip too, because he was wilding during that little run. He did his job, so he earned that, and then he got paid for it. I appreciate that, even though you asked, like you don't deserve. But I also felt like that with DeMar DeRozan when he got paid too. And I think you're more valuable than he is.
And he's one of the best. He's one of the best six man in the league, but $20 million for a six man. Oh no, maybe he'll start now. I feel like if you're paying him, he probably should start.
Was he a six man?
I thought he was. I always remember him in my head as the backup point guard. Like whenever Kyle's out, that's when like. But that
I thought he was like running normal. Yeah, maybe you're right. I didn't watch enough of their games, and I didn't watch them as much during the playoffs either.
I watched them a little bit more when they were in the bubble. Yeah. The one person I gained respect for in the bubble was Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Oh no, I'm full of shit. He started every game.
Okay. Yeah, I for whatever reason I thought he was like their shooting guard or their point guard, one of the two.
Lindsay, you said the major additions were who?
Well, because they lost Ibaka and Marc Gasol, they picked up Aaron Baines and Alex Len, who are both big men.
But very obvious downgrades.
Yes.
You got Pascal. And the over-under is 41 wins?
41.5, yeah.
Going under on that.
Which puts them at the 8th seed?
No, so you gotta remember, since it's out of 72 games, if you go 41, it's more like...
So I basically in my head, I just 47. Have to subtract 10 games from what they usually would hit. So like in this scenario, Toronto hit 53 wins last year.
I was going to say, it's more like, so since what that says right there is 73.6%. So you won 73% of the games.
Right. Okay, yeah.
So if it's out of 10 games, you subtract out, you like
take those games out. Right.
Yeah, you take a certain amount. It's just weird statistic, but we could do that. I don't think they're gonna win that many games again, or that high of a percentage, because they lost two core guys.
Lindsay, where would that put them then? Did you?
I do not remember where they were in those rankings that I saw, but they were near the top of the seeding, I believe.
For the East?
I'm pretty sure they were like they were like 3 or 4 maybe.
Okay, that makes sense.
So if they won 41 wins, that would be equivalent to winning 47 wins. Okay. Having 47 wins, and so that would put them as 4th in the East, and I don't think they're going to be 4th.
You don't? Okay. Why not?
I just think you lost. So you lost two key guys.
Yeah.
And Pascal Siakam didn't look that great. Like he was an issue in the playoffs. I remember like there was a lot of times that I felt like he was almost the reason they were doing bad.
I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, keep on.
I said I don't know if Pascal is a number one guy.
Yeah.
For a championship team. I think it's very obvious that he can be a number 2 guy, and he has been a number 2 guy. If you want, it's either him or Lowry in that department. Just depends on how you look at it. But to your point, effective field goal percentage of 42% in the playoffs. Shot under 48% from 2-point range. Under 40 as a whole. Really bad. Absolutely atrocious from 3-point range.
Yeah.
And he's just lost a bunch of health, right?
Yeah.
The
And that's the defensive guys too. Like that.
Yeah.
The part
that
of
was
that
the other thing I was going to say.
Yeah.
This team has two things going for it, right? It's commitment to defense as an identity, and Nick Nurse as their head coach, being able to have really nice, usually defensive game scripts or game plans that really make a difference during the season. And guys like Kyle Lowry, is Kyle Lowry the best drawer of charges in the whole league?
Oh, yeah, ever.
Yeah,
ever.
There's no way that I've never seen anybody else do shit like that. And you gotta respect it because like it's stupid. Like, cause it really is a stupid thing. But no one wants to do that. No one wants to stand in front of someone and just have them charge into them. Like he did it to LeBron multiple times too. It's not like he does it on everyone. So like no one wants to do that. You gotta respect that.
It's one of the most underrated parts about his game. Like he's a smart guy, and he's like a really good game manager from the offensive side of the ball. But defensively, he's just. I got to imagine that's probably annoying as fuck to play against. Is a guy like that.
Yeah, because you have to hesitate. Like you have to hesitate to drive, really, especially.
And he's not physically imposing.
Yeah,
he's like my height. He's 6 feet.
Yeah. So exactly. So it's almost like seeing Shaq. Like when you see Shaq in the paint, you have to be worried about getting the shit hit out of you. And with him, it's like, oh, I gotta worry about hitting him. You know what I mean? Like, so it's so much harder. It's like it's a mental game there.
They probably don't even worry about it. They probably go, oh, free dunk, and then they get the fucking charge, and that's what happens. But I think
if they go over,
I could see them hitting that exact 40 win total because they're definitely going to make the playoffs.
41.
41, excuse me.
Oh yeah, they're definitely. Yeah, I see them as a playoff team. But I see them like more like a 6-7 seed. I don't see them being a 4th seed though.
Yeah,
that's just me.
I'm just looking at the situation from last year, right? The Nets are this number will probably be higher than where it's at here.
No, it's gonna be lower.
Up further.
Well, the Nets in general, or the
Nets this year,
the 8th seed. Oh, I thought you meant the 8th seed would be higher. Sorry.
Oh no. I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at teams and being like, okay, the Nets probably won't be here; they'll be up here, right? Bucks will probably be there. Miami, Philly.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at 5th or 6th. That's when I can start seeing a universe where Toronto falls.
Yeah, that's true.
5th or 6th. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not that deep.
Yeah, that is
true. I could see them hitting that point, and
unless if Atlanta does better.
Where would you rather be as a basketball team? Would you rather be the Knicks, or would you rather be the Raptors? Let me extrapolate on that. The Knicks, you know you're not fucking winning the championship. You know you have no chance to win it. So you're fucking losing and hope you have an obvious direction. The Raptors at 5 or 6, they're not exactly good enough to win it all, and they're not exactly shitty enough to be not competitive.
Yeah.
That's a frustrating part. That's like the most frustrating space to be in as a basketball team.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
The only way you change that is you get a superstar. Once you get the look,
and
Toronto, yeah, exactly. That's the perfect example. Toronto, they were the perfect example of that. They were a 4th seed for how many years?
Yeah.
Once you got Kawhi Leonard, you became a championship contender. Even though it was a weird ass championship and kind of phony.
Yeah.
You became a championship contender.
Ridiculous.
So I just had to add that, just so.
There were people last year that thought that they could make it back to the finals. Like I did hear that. I didn't believe it.
I had them going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, but I did hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's because of their fucking coaching. Like, do you think this team is going to be like San Antonio, where they're just like really well coached, they're really tough out in the playoffs, but they have no chance to win? They have no chance to take home like a series.
See the difference with San Antonio though. If San Antonio gets like a different, like some type of a superstar to mess with or play with, I feel like San Antonio is always has a chance. Like,
wasn't that exactly what we were saying about this team?
I don't think that they always have a chance. Like, I am expecting them to lose if they make the playoffs, probably in this first or second round. I don't see them going to the conference final. Like, seeing San Antonio in the playoffs, like, if you have to put Greg Popovich against any team, like, I feel like he'd be the guy to get you really far. Like, I don't know if I'm giving Nick Nurse that yet.
Oh, I really respect, not from an offensive standpoint, but from a defensive standpoint, I respect the shit out of the way he constructs game plans.
Yeah, and like, especially in this era where it's not as easy. Like
no, it's much fucking harder to play defense.
Yeah,
and all the rules are catered towards offensive scoring and stretching.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Which they do a great job of on the offensive side of the ball, but and I think that's the appeal of getting a guy, because doesn't what's his face? Doesn't Baines occasionally take the corner three? I remember being very frustrated with him when he would do that in Boston.
Aaron Baines.
Yeah.
Boy, Bay.
Instead of taking corner three, like they're still gonna try maybe to stretch it. I'm not calling Aaron Baines a fucking shooter, but what I'm saying is, same thing with Alex. These guys, they're trying to pull and stretch the floor out on offense, and then on defense, they're just trying to make people's lives difficult. And they still have Norman Powell, OG Anunoby, guys like that coming off the bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just think I'd rather be the Knicks. I think I'd rather be in a position where I know I suck and I'm losing and I'm tanking, and that's my directive. You can't tank with this team.
Yeah. Hey, because the problem with being like a middle of the pack team is you don't get anything in the draft, and then you're not getting anything in the postseason either. So like you're not really, and then a market like Toronto, it's harder to get free agents. Like there's a reason Kawhi didn't want to sign there. Like I promise you, if Toronto was LA, he would have signed, or if Toronto would have been in Miami, he would have signed.
It's also because
more than likely.
It's also because of how the players, if you're from America and you play there, you get the double tax, which must suck. It's the exact opposite of the Texas deal where there's no income tax. You get taxed by Canada and America.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. That must suck. Oh my God, that must suck.
That really does.
And that must make it really difficult to sign there as a free agent, and it must make their jobs really difficult to get people to play there.
Yeah. That might make sense why they do those bigger deals for those guys.
Yeah, they have to. That
makes sense, because I was wondering when DeRozan got his contract a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
I just thought that was the biggest waste of money. Like he was I think at the time he became the highest player, and I was like, that's just criminal.
I remember he was talking about how awful, or how he never knew how bad traveling to the Toronto, like a Toronto game, was as an away person.
Yeah.
For him, he was like, it's all I ever knew. It was super easy, but apparently it's like this whole ordeal that they have to do every time they go to Toronto.
Yeah.
And it just little things like that add on to make people go, especially in this player empowerment era, to make people go, fuck this. I don't want to do this.
Yeah. And they're going to Florida, right? Like their team is switching to Florida.
What is the deal with that? Do you know the situation with them?
I think I'm not 100% sure like what stadium and stuff they're going to be using, but
yeah, I know they're starting their season in Florida. That's right.
Yeah. And I wonder if after this, maybe ownership or something, like they might want to change or stay, like try to pick up a spot in the U.S. or something instead, because it just doesn't make sense. Like most of the players are American.
Nah,
and no one wants.
They make their money in Canada. And the Canada's team thing. I'm just getting fucking birds. Raptors in Florida.
Toronto Raptors. Yeah.
But I just think the having a team for an entire
country,
yes, matters to the NBA.
But
It's why
Yeah,
a lot of
good.
it's
Oh
why a
yeah,
lot
that's
of
true. And
people
they
do
want
that.
to stay. They want to stick with the international stuff, and yeah, because
There you go.
that's their big thing is they want to be more. They wanted to be more international since the '90s. So
They're playing in Tampa because of travel restrictions the Canadian government has put
yeah,
on the pandemic.
yeah.
Crazy. I don't think
Oh
that'll
yeah,
help
I knew
them.
that
You
piece.
know
My
what?
bad. I
You know
didn't know
what?
where they were
You know
actually
what?
playing.
Considering that information, I think I'll take the under because I think that's going to be really difficult because you're essentially playing bubble basketball, right? For if you're Toronto, because you're not you're obviously you're probably living out of a hotel.
Yeah, I guess.
Like I
Well,
imagine, I don't think
most of
every
those
single player's
guys,
got a house down there.
I'm pretty
You
sure
could
the
definitely
NBA.
rent out a house.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. But I
Yeah.
still imagine that's not easy. You know what I mean?
Oh no, like Brady. That's what he. I don't think he bought his house. He's renting it from Derek Jeter. Like
Right.
yeah, so it's probably similar. Like it's not gonna be too hard for them, and they're like extremely famous. So like I just doubt that they're gonna have issues. If it was for us, yeah, that would be fucking hard as shit.
I don't know. I think Kyle Lowry could go through an airport and not get recognized. I think there's a chance.
I could.
I'm not saying every time.
Yeah.
I'm saying if I saw Kyle Lowry in the airport, I probably wouldn't go, "Oh, it's Kyle Lowry." I think I'd just walk right by.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't give a shit if I saw Kyle Lowry in the airport. I'll be worried I'm gonna charge him or something.
I'm taking the under. You're taking the under?
Yeah, I got him at like 38 wins.
I'll say 35.
35. Oh wow. Okay.
I'll say
But
35.
they'll probably be the 5th or 6th seed though. Like now that because I didn't think about how bad the East is.
Yeah.
Like I totally forgot about that. So in the West they wouldn't even make the playoffs.